You're listening to Reading Between the Lines with your host, Drew Parker.
Safety on top of Washington.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
This is the RBTL podcast. I am your host, Drew Parker, along with my co-host, John Starrett. Say what's up, John.
How is it going? It's been too long.
We're back together.
Man.
Back together, baby. It's been a while.
We're here, and you have a new microphone.
New microphone.
We'll see if it's an upgrade.
Probably the same. Probably new mic. Same bad voice. It's fine.
Same bad jokes too, apparently. So we're already off to a really strong start. Man, it has been too long. I feel like it's been at least a month since we've had a podcast together.
And
So,
we got something exciting to start talking about. What are we talking about today, John?
All right, man. Of course, the bulk of today is going to be about Texas Tech basketball because we are in the
Is it?
dead.
No. It's kind of boring.
We are in the dead middle of the season with 9 games played and 9 games to go. Looking good, actually, already. But today we're going to talk about football. Texas Tech found a new offensive coordinator. We, of course, can't gloss over that because that could be a game changer. They probably are looking for some other coaches. Literally, it changes the game. I think that's where that saying comes from, actually.
I have no idea.
Someone
I'm
who
just
changes
laughing
the
at myself.
All right, of course, after Texas Tech football, that'll be pretty brief. We'll go into baseball. Texas Tech is ranked pretty darn high in the preseason.
I believe it's 14 days today. So when you listen to this, it'll be 13, 12 kind of thing.
Yeah,
whatever.
11, 10, 9.
Yeah.
The countdown has started.
2,
If you
4.
love Texas Tech baseball, it is coming around the corner.
Already.
So they're looking good this preseason. So we'll talk about that and Michael Berglund leaving the team as well. Just a small.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a really good player,
Right.
but yeah. Anyway,
I have my
we're
thoughts
good.
on that for sure.
Yeah, we're good. So the bulk of this podcast is of course Texas Tech basketball. We're halfway through conference play, and man, things are really heating up.
Gosh.
I mean, man, our optimism is probably the hype train is
probably
going,
too high.
for sure.
Probably too high. It'll come back down to earth tomorrow. Let's not hopefully knock on wood, but
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway,
And then finally, we'll wrap up because we cannot go without talking a little bit about the Super Bowl.
there's some football game being played on Sunday. It's not that big,
It's
but
two
I
teams
guess
that neither of us are fans of,
yeah,
but you know,
Cowboy fans are crying in their sleep right now, but it's fine.
yeah. I mean,
Yikes.
and then everyone's like, "Yeah, the Patriots." They're like the Golden State Warriors
Right.
of the NFL. So I mean, yeah, that's just a rundown. We're gonna keep it pretty raw, pretty straightforward. Everything you need to hear about Texas Tech sports, and then a little bit less. That'll be what you're hearing today from us.
And you might want to hear a little bit less than what we're saying, but sorry about you.
Yeah, well, we can be a little wordy at times. Let's get into it. So Texas Tech hires a new offensive coordinator. His name is Kevin Johns. I thought it was Jones at first, but Johns, Johns. He was from Western Michigan. Previously, before that, he was at Indiana as well, and that spread offense as well. Drew, I want to ask you first, how do you feel about this new hire?
It's odd to me because he's classified as a balanced OC.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he leans a little bit heavier on the run.
Yeah, just from some of those stats that I've been looking up, they are pretty heavy on the run.
It's weird how the play calling duties haven't even been what's the word?
We don't know if they've been relinquished or traded yet.
It's almost like I can kind of see. You can kind of see jobs in other industries that do this. Also, it's kind of like he signs a contract to be an OC.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know exactly what his role is. I find that a little strange.
I feel like we don't know his role, but he for sure.
Maybe
they've had that conversation behind closed doors. Of course,
that's
all speculation right now.
Because I'd imagine like I can get if I got a call from Double T 973 and they were like, hey, I don't know when you're gonna be on, who you're gonna be with, or what you're gonna be talking about, but I want you for the show. I'd be like, okay, sign me up. It's a radio gig. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll be there. Sign me up. You can kind of see other jobs in different industries that would kind of be like that. But in terms of this stature of program, not that we're huge, but I mean, it's a
offensively,
legit job.
it's a good place to be.
Right.
Most of the
it's just
time.
odd that he signs a contract without those. And Cliff is known to keep things very close to the vest sometimes.
Yeah, that's his MO for sure.
I think Cliff will still be calling the plays come September when we play Ole Miss in NRG Stadium. But what do I know?
Yeah, I mean, last year especially, there's one thing I want to say about this offensive coordinator. Cliff, first of all, he's been leaning more, trying to get more towards the middle, trying to balance the run and pass, and he really wants that balance to open up those passing
and
lanes.
the first hire outside of the Tech coaching tree.
This is true, which I really am hopeful that will be something that actually galvanizes the program.
You love seeing people who have been there and done that, and people who like Cliff was hired. People united about him like crazy. That first year he was here, oh my gosh, we had sellouts.
And you take a huge risk when you take that.
Right.
I guess someone who's an up and coming person.
Right.
But I don't think that is the case with Mr. Johns here.
I was tired of them hiring the coaching tree because again, not that I'm wanting everybody to be crash and burn, but it's a lot harder to fire somebody in a business decision when they're family.
Yeah.
So
hence
Cliff.
There's more feelings involved, and
right.
Definitely, we've seen that with Cliff's job as of now as well, because he has those roots with Texas
If he
Tech.
wasn't the prodigal son, he'd be gone.
Yeah, and so that's given him an extra life, and hopefully he makes the most of it. We're all rooting for the team to do as well as they can, and hopefully under this new offensive coordinator, something changes that will actually enhance the game. Mm-hmm. Although I did find a red flag, and so there could be a few different ways to look at this.
Right.
So last year, the offense that this guy ran at Western Michigan was ranked 87th nationally. Last year,
and in a non-Power 5.
They were in a non-Power 5, but 87th is pretty tough. And like that, the year before that, of course, they had, I think his name's PJ Fleck. They had Fleck.
Honestly,
they had all those seniors that transferred.
Right.
So you can say that maybe that'll account for some of it.
When Eric Morris left, it was, from what I've been told, it was a mutual decision. He got offered a new position, and Tech was kind of pushing him to take that position. You know, it was kind of mutual parting of ways.
We were kind of like hinting at the possibility because someone had to be a fall man for a down year offensively.
Right. And I really don't know what to think about how people are excited. I honestly think this is a hire of like we're running out of options and we're running out of time.
Yeah,
not to put down Johns.
There is a feel like there was a desperation moment, in that,
and having an OC helps. Having an OC named helps recruiting, and the recruiting was taking a hit also.
Yeah, I've heard he's really good with wide receivers in general,
right?
But of course, we already had that in Morris already, so it's hard to tell. I don't even know if Tech still has some coaching vacancies, a running back coach, or whatever is needed.
I've been looking for two more positions. One's a grad assistant and one's an actual coach. I forget who it is.
But, a lot of people were saying, oh, well, Harrell might come in and fill that offensive coordinator position. And I was
people were saying that. I didn't buy that for 1 second.
And so, yeah, maybe that was just what some of the fans wanted.
Right. I mean, believe me, I would have wanted it, but I didn't believe it.
Yeah, so going with a more experienced guy that has more experience, that's going to be helpful as well. Either way, he does have a lot of potential, of course, coming from the Indiana and having all that experience in the spread offense. But all that being said, it only matters if he's calling plays. Like all that stuff, he could just say anything he wants.
Game plans, but Cliff is. I think Cliff's not giving up call playing.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's a really tough thing. Like he could be pressured into it,
right?
But that's the last thing he wants to do,
right?
And so if he comes in and we got now Kevin Johns calling plays, that will change everything drastically,
right?
Of course, it'll change Cliff's role drastically as well to more of that manager role. I don't think it's going to happen either, to be honest. And kind of hope it doesn't, because people will say, oh, well, the offense fell off. Okay, but like Cliff Kingsbury is still one of the best
We're still putting up
25
25 points a game,
Yeah, and a lot of teams would die for that.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. And I wish the best for Tech's sake across
Can you imagine Cliff going to do an SEC team and putting up that kind of offense? He'd win national championships. Now that's theoretical because they have better defenses than the Big 12 does. But I mean,
you could make an argument that scoring that number of points in any for sure. Cool. So next category, Texas Tech baseball.
Boy.
preseason rankings, because man, we got some good ones this year.
If Tate basketball wasn't off to such a hot start, baseball would be getting even more hype than it already is. But everybody's
for
focused
sure.
on basketball right now.
Yes.
Baseball opens February 16th at 1 o'clock against the Maine Black Bears. That is our opener. 4 of the top recognized polls have come out, and all 4 has taken at least top 5. The highest one was D1Baseball.com that had taken number 3.
Yeah, 3.
We were came out today. We were picked to finish first in the Big 12 for the first time since '99, which is nuts.
Yes, that was the other thing that I found. Yeah, for the first time in this century.
Right. Now, see, people worried about that. It's like, oh, target on our back. Well, think of it this way. Last 2 years, we have won the Big 12, the regular season at least.
Okay, or at least, or co-shared.
Right.
Co-titled.
And 2 years ago, we were picked to finish third.
Yeah.
Last year, we were picked to finish second. So I don't think this is a spotlight that we're not familiar with.
Yeah, and they expect it because the last few years,
Right.
like going back to 2015, preseason 2015, we were
Right.
ranked 4th.
And I also think that they can handle this pressure. I really do. Because I'm telling you
Yeah, they
right
can.
now,
And then like 4th, 2016, they were ranked 2nd, and
Right.
2017, 3rd preseason. So they're used to this kind of pressure and expectation.
and I'm telling you what,
Tell me.
we have a this is gonna sound like a hot take to you, but it's not.
Okay.
We will contend for a national championship this year.
Dude, no, I didn't think that's a hot take at all.
I'm
dude.
not saying you know how people say big dance as referred to like the NCAA tournament basketball and everything. Well, the big dance, if you for those who don't know basketball, is going to Omaha. Okay.
Or baseball, yeah.
And what did I say?
You said basketball.
Okay.
It's all good. I know where your brain's going for this next part of the podcast.
And the going to Omaha is a dance floor, okay, or is the dance, okay?
Yes. Is there 8 teams? I believe there's 8 teams.
There's 8. Yeah.
So that's a bigger deal than getting into the March Madness.
It's kind of the equivalent of the Final Four. Obviously not quite.
Elite Eight.
But yeah. But
yeah,
it's
pretty intense.
If Omaha is the dance, you're invited to the dance, okay? Well,
The regionals and the super
Right.
regionals are like that.
right.
Those rounds of 32.
3 years ago, we went to the dance and we were like, oh, the punch is nice, and we left, because we were
Yeah,
bounced on the first
just happy
game.
to be here.
Right, like, hi, nice to see everybody. I'm awkward. I'm gonna leave now. 2 years ago, we got bounced in the regionals last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was regionals.
Yeah, Sam
anyway, we're
Houston
not going to get into that. But 2
I was
years
there.
ago, we got to the dance, and we had a dance. We had one awkward dance with this girl we didn't even like or something like that. I don't know how.
Yeah. We had
whatever analogy I'm trying
we
to
had a
get at
dance.
here.
One dance where we killed
Right,
it against
right.
Florida.
and then one dance where we're like all awkward and with our gangly arms.
But then that team won it all. So
then-
I'm okay with it.
But I'm telling you, this year we will be invited to the dance,
Okay.
and we'll make some noise on the dance floor.
like talking tuxedo, walking in.
I'm talking walking in like a boss, like getting into a dance competition with like QB1.
Yeah.
I don't know, sorry.
He just comes in, brings his pet alligator.
My metaphors is going off the rails right now, but you know what I'm saying. We're not only are we going to go to the dance
yeah.
and make some noise, but we will make some noise. I'm telling you, our starting lineup
Yeah.
can if our weekend lineup pitching, Davis Martin, Stephen Gingery, Ryan Shetter.
Praise God for that rule, man, that makes you
Right,
stay for
right.
another year because Gingery, he could
Davis Martin,
be taking some money if he didn't have that.
Stephen Gingery, and Ryan Shetter.
Yeah, assuming Shetter's the third
Those
starter.
three
too.
names in that order, Friday, Saturday, Sunday starter, makes anybody in the country shiver with fear.
That's a solid.
And
solid
you know
3.
what? If you want to mix it up, and if somebody coming into town wants to mix it up and put their Saturday starter on a Friday to kind of get us off kilter, hey, we'll get Gingery at you. Have fun with the sub 2 ERA pitcher.
Yeah.
You can't. Sorry about you.
They're poised for a
Right.
big year. That's your phone.
I didn't realize.
Uncensored.
on.
Wow,
Okay.
that just like blew up. We're good. But yeah, so here's what I have to say to kind of wrap that up for the Texas Tech team. I I guess this has become our expectation.
Right.
This year it is Omaha or bust.
Right. Oh,
And
absolutely.
I think any other expectation will be lowballing what we need to do
It's
this
funny
year.
because that noise played right as I said my hot take. Like right after I actually kind of made it up. After the dust settled. It's
Wait,
like,
do we have to like edit that out? Is that like copyright?
I don't think they. I mean, if they are, come at me, bro. I'll take on ESPN myself. But
Please
also,
don't take us on.
I was going to maybe one more thing.
Yeah,
The amount of televised games that we
this
have.
is true.
4 televised games.
Yeah.
That seems low, doesn't it? We host West Virginia Friday, March 30th, FS1. We have 5 games.
These are the nationally televised
Yes.
games, so.
We have host West Virginia on Friday, March 30th, 6:30 FS1. The entire series against TCU in Fort Worth, by the way, is going to be a huge series.
Mm-hmm.
That's all televised. And we host Texas on Saturday, May 5th. That's our 5 games national televised. Guess how much TCU has? Just take a wild guess.
I'm going to go 8.
24.
24?
TCU has 24 nationally televised games.
We have 4 or 5? Okay,
Are
here's
you
my...
salty at all about that?
A little bit.
Yeah.
They're a smaller school.
Because guess what?
We're doing better.
We're ranked higher on the APs than they are. So they can hop off.
Maybe that'll be the chip on our shoulder that we do need.
I mean,
though.
it's like literally the ranked below us in every poll that's come out so far.
Yeah, and I think, but also you have to take into account the TV. We get a lot of those regional Fox Sports games, so they'll still be on. They're just not officially nationally televised.
It's like nobody cares about it.
But I mean,
stupid private.
Anybody with the Fox Sports Go app,
Right.
if they're just looking for a tech game, I think they could still find it.
Maybe
Most
Think
of the
so.
nation, even if it's like Fox College Sports or whatever, people will go to great lengths to watch their team play.
Right.
So hopefully you're able to watch plenty, and I think Double T 97.3 has it on their app as well for listening to every game.
for sure.
And so that's a big deal. They haven't had that in the past, playing across the app. So hopefully you'll be covered with all Texas Tech baseball.
14 days to go as of this recording, and we are excited. There's nothing better than besides spending a spring afternoon watching basketball, spending a spring afternoon watching baseball is up there too on my list.
Yeah, well, let's say something most of our listeners can agree with. Texas Tech sports are pretty awesome.
Yes.
It's just so much fun.
And you know, I heard somebody on the radio bringing up the argument like, boy, if all 3 could be hitting on all cylinders, you know, we have basketball and baseball now.
Yep.
If football could be hitting on all cylinders, that'd be great.
This would be the golden age
let's be
if
honest.
we had all 3.
Hardly anybody's. I can't name a school. I can name recent schools, but I can't name a school right now that has them all doing well. It's hard to make them all. It's hard to get them to where they all do all at the same time.
Like you think
Like-
of all the the football programs, the powerhouses.
Like
hardly ever.
Florida back in the day, you did it, and FSU right now is doing a little bit. They've been to the Omaha, and their basketball team has been in the dance, recently. But it is hard to get all 3 revenue sports to do all at once.
Yeah, and what I'm hearing with that is Kirby Hocutt is the man.
Yes, he is.
He is picking all these great coaches
Right.
and
Chris Beard. Oh, we'll get into that. Oh, are we ready for some basketball talk?
Wait, are you like man crushing on Chris Beard?
A little bit. I kind of want to shake his hand.
All right, it's the perfect time to transition because we got to talk Texas Tech basketball.
Let's bring up this clip, shall we?
Yeah, you should get us started with the right way with this clip.
Turn my volume up. I thought just turn it down because ESPN went off on us.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. This is
Spaces
Whoa.
away, throws it up. Bang!
sorry guys.
Do that again. Okay. We're jakey today. We're out of practice.
This is uncut.
Spaces away, throws it up. Bang! Horns down. Horns down. Horns down.
The most epic call.
It's funny because when I turn my volume up,
Yeah.
I just feel
Yeah, when you turn your volume up,
we're
what?
all over the board right now.
Who's this we? All right, go ahead.
Anyway, when I turned it up, it gave me a volume warning,
Yeah.
indicator, and I go, oh, it's fine, okay, and it went all the way up, and I go, oh, probably should have listened to the warning, but it's fine.
Yeah, we blow through stop signs here.
If
RBTO.
If I just got my tax return in, so if I blew out any headphones, then just hit me up, and no, actually don't. I don't have that much money.
Yeah.
If I blew out some cheap earbuds.
Earpods?
Earbuds.
Yeah. Earpods.
I like that's fine. Okay. I won't stop. Okay. Back on the topic train. That's what you were.
We might have to start the transition into it a second later.
That was bad. It's fine. Okay. So basketball.
Yeah, Texas Tech basketball.
We are 6-3 in conference play, 18-4 overall, John.
This is why we're here. This is why we're doing this pod. Get on the hype train.
The conference game so far. Let me run down for you. A win over, at the time, number 18 Baylor, 77-53. Boy, that game happened, and we put everybody on notice. I mean, anybody who hadn't been watching started right then. Okay? Then we won at Kansas over
Man,
number 10 on
that
the
was
road,
huge.
85-73. That's when everybody was like, who is this Tech team?
Like,
What is
wait a
this?
second.
Right.
We
You
put
don't win at Kansas.
You put the nation on notice when
Right.
you go in and you just destroy.
Then win over Kansas State 74-58, which we all expected. It was a little more closer of a game than we wanted it to be, but I mean the final score wasn't, but
Yeah.
The game played out that way. Then we lost at the time number 8 Oklahoma on the road 75-65. I don't have an issue with that right now because they haven't lost they haven't lost at home yet. I don't believe so. It's not a big deal to me. It's not a bad loss by any means.
No, never.
And then then we won over who at the time was number 2 West Virginia, 72-71. That was huge. First top 10 matchup in that arena is history.
So I made sure to come back so that I could watch that game. That's when you knew that Texas Tech was real.
That game was as hype. I say that it's gonna get even more hype now.
Wasn't West Virginia like ranked number 2
They
at
were
the
number
time?
2. Yeah,
Of course. Yeah, we could talk about how the grade have fallen, but
I was gonna touch on that. What's happened to West Virginia?
man, yeah,
They honestly, what I think is that against West Virginia, it is a 40-minute track meet. They pressed the crap out of you.
maybe they wore themselves
And to be
out.
honest with you, I don't think they're a deep enough team this year to continually press you like that and stay. What's the word? Not go fatigued. I don't know.
Yeah, basically,
I
to hold that consistent
Right.
level of intensity is very difficult.
Jelon Carter has averaged a minute of bench time the last 3 games.
What an
They're
exhausting.
asking a whole lot of him, which is nuts. I mean, he can do it, but clearly they don't have the depth that they used to. They don't have the depth to play like the way they're
Yeah,
playing.
for sure. The Mountaineers have left the mountaintop.
I mean, oh, John.
I just
like
came
that.
up with that on the spot.
Okay, I'm not kidding. And I don't feel so bad about losing Iowa State anymore. Yes, come March, it's gonna be one of those bad losses, but Hilton Magic is a thing, dog. Hilton Magic is a thing. They shot 60% against West Virginia.
There aren't many weak.
60%.
That's pretty impressive. Like Iowa State shot on us
Yeah.
that one time. That was nuts.
Oh,
Man, there's not many Big 12 schools where there's not a roaring stadium
Right,
on the
right.
road every time you play.
TCU is probably the least of them.
I mean,
in terms of capacity.
think about Tech in previous years. When are the biggest turnouts in the game? When you have a chance to upset a ranked opponent.
Oh yeah,
And now we are that.
In the past, it's been. I mean, Baylor not so much now, but in the past, it's been Baylor, Kansas, OU has been West Virginia has been the 4 biggest games.
And because currently we are that, I feel like every stadium we go into is going to sell a
Right.
lot of tickets because people want to
Right.
see an upset.
Hope
to see an upset.
Oh yeah. And then we lost to Texas on the road.
That was a tough game to watch.
That game, I can justify it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Texas is the worst matchup for us in the conference with their bigs and how small we play sometimes.
They're also in classic Texas fashion
Right.
this year, just like football.
I-
The weirdest bipolar
Right.
home road team.
I can almost mark that up to a bad matchup. That doesn't bother me as much. It really doesn't. I mean,
it was what, sub 10-point loss?
yeah, 9.
9-point
Right.
loss, and it was, in Austin.
Although I would love to break that streak of 22 years, not be able to win there. But we have next year to break that. It's fine.
Yeah, there's always a next year.
Then we lost on the road to Iowa State, 70-52.
That one hurt.
That one hurt. Not as much now because they beat West Virginia.
Man, what surprised me the most is how little it hurt the rankings.
Right.
Because I thought we were dropping like 10
really
or 12
dropped
spots.
6. Right. We went from 8 to 14, and there was a stretch of that game. I think it was 8 minutes where Iowa State didn't miss a shot. I'm not kidding. everything they went in. Everything they threw up went in. They were, there was that late shot clock 3 that they just turned around and shunked up. That's not what I meant to
Threw
say.
it up there.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's Hilton Magic's a thing. I don't know. They're a different team. If they could play the entire NCAA tournament at Hilton, they might win it all.
Yeah, they've had 2 really good home
Right.
games. They beat us, and then they destroyed another team. I can't remember if it was West Virginia. Or
After
who.
we beat West Virginia, we were what is that? We were 1, 2, 3, 4-1 in conference play.
And you were no longer under the radar.
And going into Texas, Iowa State, Oklahoma State, South Carolina, and Texas, we're thinking we have a chance to be like 9-1 in conference play.
Yeah. It's the
And
mountaintop
people
effect
were
for
just,
sure.
People were just hyping it up. Then we lost 2 straight. Come back with a win over Oklahoma State, 75-70. Crazy comeback.
Yeah, that's the thing. Tech fans, especially like online, they got super vocal after those 2 losses.
Right.
Like they had the PTSD last year. You know how we fell apart towards the end of the
Right.
season, lost like 8 of 9 at the
Right.
end. Like they were freaking out. Like this is going to be
Right.
a tough year. Like we thought we had something, and then what do? They bounce right
Boy,
back.
that was not an easy game, though. I thought that was going to be a blowout, and it was not. Down 15 in the second half, down 12 at halftime. I got home, and you listened to the podcast. I got home, and I basically said, I don't know how he won that game. I really don't. I don't know how he won that game. But we
Yeah.
did. And now
Sometimes
we
it
go on.
just falls into your lap at the end.
Right. And then win over South Carolina, who, by the way, was last year's Final Four team.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that, and then I heard him
Right.
talking about it pregame, and I was like, "Whoa!"
We beat them 70-63. Gave us our first true road win and gave us some confidence back in terms of on the road play.
Oh, can we talk about that Big 12 SEC thing for a minute?
Yeah,
It
I
means
guess you have to.
It means
it means squat.
it means nothing in your conference
You know, it's
record or
funny.
anything like that.
It's funny.
But man, they're gonna hold that over your head for the next year.
I was looking at the matchups and I was thinking you have a good chance to win 8 of these.
I was thinking 7.
And you know what? It's funny how Joe Lenardi dropped every Big 12 team except for Kansas down a seed after that week.
Yeah,
Joe Lenardi has never been big on the Big 12. I mean, he has them. He has 7 of them in, but he doesn't have them very high in terms of what they could be.
yeah.
It's I hate the SEC. It's fine. I that's as far as I'm gonna go. I can't stand them. It's fine. Yeah.
ESPN's kind of on their side with the whole network deal.
I mean,
So-
when they're not talking about Trae Young 24/7, also.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
Oh,
What-
I just got into that one, didn't I?
There's a soapbox we need to step onto for a second. we were beating some team, and then they kept mentioning Trae Young, and I was like, Trae Young's not in this game. That's it's like when Mahomes would make a great play, and they're
Right.
like Johnny Manziel.
TCU
No.
was playing. TCU's playing Oklahoma State last Monday night.
Okay.
And they had a 5-minute special at halftime about Trae Young, instead of recapping the first half of the game.
Wow.
It's like, what do you like? Put somebody in the booth that actually knows what they're talking about, please.
I get it. He's doing pretty great things as a freshman and all that stuff, and he'll be gone.
He'll be gone. Oh yeah.
all that greatness, but at the same time, like we're watching a different game.
Right.
Neither of the 2 people in that game are Trae
And I
Young.
swear,
fans,
when we
you know?
played OU on the road, they could not keep the camera off of him.
He's like the coach, like the instant reaction
Right.
every time something happens.
Right.
What is Trae Young
It's-
doing?
Did
Did Trae Young cut his toenails?
I what in the world? I'm ready. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for the next star in sports not to be a Sooner.
Oh man, we have a beef because, of course, with the Baker Mayfield transfer, and
And Buddy
with
Hield, basketball, a few years ago.
did he have connections to Tech as well?
No, but he was just a Sooner, and he was big and he was high on everybody's charts.
Got you. But I'm saying the thing with him is
yeah,
that he
his
left
father,
Tech,
yeah.
and the thing with Trae
Yeah,
Young,
he.
Trae Young, he has a legacy at Texas Tech,
Right.
so a lot of people were thinking maybe we'll land him because of his
Honestly, I
family
don't want him.
legacy.
I don't want him.
I'm fine with it. It's kind of like whenever Mahomes came out of the woodwork, whenever
Right.
Keenan Evans comes out of the woodwork, it changes
It's-
perspective.
It's
you
one
know?
of those things where, like, okay, first of all, when he was being pursued by us, he says, "I don't know, y'all still not enough talent. How much talent we got now, big boy? Huh? What you gotta say now?"
You can make an argument that Tech is a more talented
Oh,
team than OU.
absolutely. They have Kadeem Latin, they have McNeese, and they have Trae Young. That's really it.
Yeah, and I mean we're deep even in freshmen.
And it's I'm ready for him to come to Lubbock. He has more stiff arms than a running back in the NFL, and he's gonna get fouls called on him all night. He's gonna get. If I had to put money on it, I'd say he gets fouled out in Lubbock.
Yeah, I mean he's pretty smart about knowing when to pull off.
No. He's not smart about knowing it at all. He just doesn't play any defense in the first half.
This is true as well. He's not
Which
the strongest, biggest defender
Which
either.
he'll fit in perfectly in the NBA if he doesn't play defense. The NBA doesn't play defense anyway.
The NBA loves volume shooters, and I think he's going to be a volume shooter.
Some of his shot choices are jokes. Like when he bricks those 40-foot threes, it's just funny to watch how stupid he looks.
There's a few of those. What were you
Right,
thinking?
like why?
Like trying to spin on a dime from 30
Right.
feet out and try to hit it. Sometimes you gotta be humbled, and hopefully, I don't know, man. It's hard to hate the guy for me, but yeah, he's overhyped. by far.
When they come to Lubbock, he's gonna get.
Oh, it's gonna be so much fun.
Oh my gosh, our student section is gonna have a feast on him.
All right. Let's not jump ahead too far because we got a few more games to talk
Oh
about.
goodness.
Let's talk about the big one that happened recently. So, of course, the first half of conference play, we are, I want to say 6-3.
Yeah.
We're 6-3 to start to be conference play
18
here.
and 4 overall.
18-4 overall, which is tied with Kansas, by the way.
Yes.
18-4 overall. The UT game. Let's get into that because this is a fun one to recap.
Well, someone needs to check Kenan Evans' locker because somewhere in there he has a Superman cape on.
Yeah, some sort of go-go gadget, something happening because his game has been transformed.
Give me your first thoughts about the game. Yeah. Okay. First of all, I want. Okay. I know we say this for later, but I want.
Okay.
The students.
Yeah. Let's get right into it.
They were. I don't think they could pack in tighter than they did, but they will certainly try on Wednesday.
I want to say we set a student attendance record
yes.
for all the Big 12, over
Yes.
6,000 something.
Our personal record was set in 2 years ago OU. It was 4,800.
Yeah.
We set a student record just over 6,000.
And the crazy part, 20 minutes before the game started, they were not letting students in anymore.
Right.
There were people standing out there till halftime.
Actually, Glenn Green was the first person that they cut off.
No way.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like, they stopped I'm guessing probably 1,000 more people or so.
I bet.
At the door and said, "Look, we're full.
Hey.
You can't come in." And so here's my spiel on this.
That's a good problem to have.
Here's my spiel on this. Halftime. After halftime, find out how many seats are still empty.
I agree.
Look around and be
agree.
like, I'll let 300 more students fill those spots.
I agree.
Because that game was too good to be turned away.
President Skubanek, are you listening? Skubanek?
Chauvinek?
Something like that.
But yes, if like those spots are there's a lot of vacant spots or people that let's just say some people buy another ticket and go down to the student section. Someone who might do that.
Well, we're not referring to anybody in particular.
Yeah, we don't know anyone
Nah.
that did that. So a lot of those upper bowl seats are still wide open because of the
Right.
people that do come down, join other friends their age in the student section. So that's my little spiel on that because man, what a product.
They let 1,000 out. That is, I don't know if the students can pack it any tighter.
Yeah.
I saw we have a friend Andrew from the Wesley.
Okay.
I saw a Snapchat. He was one of the top people in the student section. It was a sea of people trying to get in those doors. Sea of people.
And I don't know.
I was the first one through the doors. I was the first one through the doors.
Drew
first in
basically
line.
takes a tent and parks there for the night before. I'm just kidding.
I got there an hour before the doors opened.
You got there an hour before the doors opened?
Yeah.
That's a long time to be standing out there. But it
And
was worth
come Texas,
the wait.
and come OU in Kansas, it's
Yes.
gonna be like 2 hours before the doors open.
You cannot.
That's gonna be the hardest ticket to
You could
buy.
show up 30 minutes before the game and not get in.
Right.
In either of those games,
Like it's hard.
especially with the Trae Young
Anyway,
situation.
Let's get back to Texas.
Okay,
because I'll
so
just start going when they don't watch out.
The craziest shot block I've ever seen live.
Mo Bamba, yo mama,
Mo Bamba. That dude,
7 feet tall.
his wingspan, like he made other people look like
He could
tiny.
if he raised his arms and just jumped, he's probably 12 feet.
Yeah, like when he raises his arms, he barely has to jump to dunk the ball.
Right.
And he had some pretty nice
He
dunks.
put his freaking elbow in the rim in one dunk, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, and like there's so many things about him. He'll pull up at the top of the key.
Oh, he
and
just drained a three.
In the last few games, he's 4 for 4 on 3-point shots.
That's dumb.
Like, wow. you don't see that
You can
very
reach
often.
out and already be halfway there with his arms.
Yeah, for sure.
But
that's
goodness, that
that's
game.
a good defender.
So we ended up being up only 7.5. Cause
Yeah, they kind of had that last minute little momentum swing.
We had a layup that was blocked, and then they came down and they laid it up. So
Yeah, so that was a little-
they had free throw. So it could have been an 11-point lead at halftime. It ended
Yeah,
up being
that
a 7.
That was a weird swing. It kind of felt like
Right.
the air kind of got dropped
Right.
out of the room a little bit.
But
on
then
that.
second half, we go up 51-38, and I'm thinking we're gonna roll. This is gonna be a 15-point win. We're
I
gonna
remember
roll.
looking at the scoreboard at that moment and being like, "We got this in the bag."
And then the Zebras started to be more like jackasses.
Okay, here let's put it this way: it started to feel like 5-on-8 at times.
Right.
We were
That was
just
a good joke, John. That was funny. Yeah,
That was
you're not
good.
laughing.
Animal Kingdom pulling out the deep jokes here. No, but here's what
Everything else is irrelevant, right?
someone cut him off. Turn his mic off. No, yeah, we're gonna have to regroup here.
Okay.
Yes, so it started to feel like the refs were giving all the calls to UT, and it was really frustrating.
There was one position where there was 4 fouls against us. All loose ball fouls.
That's crazy.
It was
I didn't
nuts.
know that.
Oh yeah.
So there was one point, and I have like a beef with this one play in particular, where Mo Bamba goes entirely over a guy's back.
Oh yeah.
As he's going out
Yep.
for the rebound, and I was jumping up like, yes, there's a foul on Mo Bamba for like reaching in. We get the ball, and they've called it on us. Like I guess it was a blocking
Right.
or something. And I'm like,
Oh, it was.
he folded in
obnoxious.
half over the guy. He
It-
went so far over his back.
There were a lot of calls that when we were trying to box him out, they called us pushing. It's like you have
Yeah.
to push the dude. He's 7 feet tall.
Or they'd just be backing up into
Right.
him, and then he'd like fall away, and they get the calls.
Although Mo Bamba got hurt in this game,
Yeah, and
See
I thought
that?
he wasn't coming back.
it looked like an ACL when it first happened.
Oh, he was down hard.
Yeah,
He was not.
Hey,
Did not
one
look
of
like
his
he was coming
teammates
up.
rolled into his leg.
Yeah, I saw the replay. Gosh, man, I saw that, and everyone was like
Right.
booing the call because they called it a foul on us.
Right.
Which his own guy rolled up into
the
him.
fans were having a day
So,
on the refs.
so here's how
weren't
I
they?
yes. So here's how I feel about tech sports in general. The worse the ref calls it, the more booze and the more into it tech
Dude,
fans get.
right?
You were,
I was
you
so
were throwing
excited.
logs on the fire when you're calling stupid fouls against them. Like,
When you need to put Striper on the screen, you know it's bad.
yes, there was some certain people chanting expletives
Oh.
at the UT players. We can
They're-
just put it that way.
hearing a arena full of 15,000 people just raining booze down might be one of my favorite noises I've ever heard.
It's the deepest, richest sound.
Oh, it's so
And
good.
it was
I
the
love it.
strongest, loudest booze
Yes.
I've ever heard as well. Like I've seen some pretty angry
Right,
fans, but it was
right.
like possession after possession. I
Right.
think there's 3 possessions in a row at least where we got these weird
Right.
fouls, and it just kind of like everyone's like, "Are you serious?" And I was
Right.
over there pretending to put
Oh,
money
I
in
was
my
losing
pocket.
my freaking mind. I was losing my freaking mind.
I was like,
dog.
"Refs getting rich right now." No,
But
it always
know,
feels that way when you're at home, though.
there's a guy who's he's probably over it now, but at about 11 o'clock Wednesday night, he was probably sick to his stomach. A guy named Coleman on Texas.
Who's that?
The guy that missed 3 consecutive free throws.
Wow. Okay. So there's a few things here. Okay, I'm super superstitious, very superstitious.
Really?
And
I kind of am.
I always think that like being there makes a difference. You know, like if you
Oh, for
yell
sure.
something,
For
like,
sure.
I know
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably not true that it
No,
will really change that much. But I was like running in the aisle and like waving and acting all crazy, and he missed those shots, and like I was
I'm
there
telling you.
in his frame of like in his vision, like running around doing something crazy, and like by the third one, the stadium was like we were at a point where we were down quite a few points.
Oh no, we were down 4 with 2 to go when he went to the line.
And that could have been the dagger.
7 with 2 to go. Ball game. It's over.
And so Keenan Evans has been hot up until that point. He'd been shooting. He was probably almost to 30 points.
When he missed all three of those free throws, that crowd went nuts.
The crowd?
We're so down.
The crowd was like, oh, okay, wait. He missed the
Right,
first one.
right.
Missed the second one. He missed the third one. And then, like, the crowd was like, wait a second. This game is not
Right.
over. It
I
was
mean,
kind of like, that was almost a turning point
One of them,
the game.
one of them wouldn't have put it out of reach, but
Yeah, but the
all,
feel-
all three would have.
The feel of missing all three, like, the crowd kind of, like, perked up. Like, for a
Right.
minute, they were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
wow, we're going to lose a game at the end.
And
there
then-
goes our home streak.
And then Keenan Evans, his free throws. Well, I have the stats for you, okay? So,
Yeah, hit it up.
So here we in the game, he went 38 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 39 minutes played. Only Red Raider in double digits. Okay,
Okay.
he is one of 2 people who's ever dropped 30 points in a game for Tech. Andre Emmett was the only other one.
Yeah, this done it twice.
He did it on December 18th and 21st, 2002.
You know, when your category is only 2 people, that's a
Right.
pretty good, no matter
So,
who it is. That's
Here's
incredible.
his cumulative stats over the last 3 games for Keenan Evans.
Okay, yeah, I think I have
Okay.
this too.
95 points, 23 of 38 shooting, 9 of 14 from 3, 40 of 45 from the free throw line.
Wow, only missed 5 free throws all.
That's
It feels like more than that, but
ridiculous.
like, yeah,
He,
more missed free throws.
it's funny. He, I think, I don't remember how it happened, but we ended up being down 3 once at one point.
Okay.
And he got fouled on that 3. And
Oh,
he
yeah.
had those 3 free throws that made the game tied again.
Cool, collected Keenan, and like
Cold-blooded killer.
in a yeah, he was calm as a cucumber out there, man. He was killing it. And there was a point. The people near me started chanting MVP.
I heard that. It was amazing.
MVP.
I heard that.
And then
Yes.
the guys next to us started chanting expletive UT, and then it turned into that, and I was like, you just ruined a beautiful chant.
I heard more of the MVP.
Okay, good. Because we were starting to chant MVP.
Right.
And then, like, the guys
You
next
know,
to us just took it over.
When he made that last free throw to tie it up, that crowd went. I leaned over to some guy in the stand, and I go, "This place is about to go nuts." When it was tied by 64, when he made those 3 free throws, that place went bonkers.
So, you know, like, people talk about the stadium going wild, all that kind of thing. Okay, are we ready to get to the last shot? Or is there more
Not
we need
quite
to-
yet.
Okay.
I wasn't talking
We're
about.
going to get into, like, whatever just happened in that
right.
moment.
The biggest play of the game, in my opinion, was Keenan Evans' last play of regulation. He got Mo Bamba to foul out. Okay.
Yes, and a lot of people didn't even realize
Right.
that.
I didn't at first. I didn't realize it was on
I was
him.
wondering why he was on the bench in
Right.
overtime, and I was like, oh, well, they'd be playing him
And
if
then
he could.
Keenan Evans, I'll put my life on the line. If you said Keenan Evans has to make 2 free throws in your life, I'd say give me that all day. He's
Yeah.
usually money. He makes the first one to tie the game. That place explodes.
I was like, one.
And we are all on pins
two.
and needles, and he bricks the second one. And you know what? I'll give a pass. That is one of the most pressure-filled free throws you'll ever have.
Here's what happened. He wanted to save it for overtime.
All right,
He wanted to hit the game-winning shot. Yeah.
And he
intentionally missed
he
it.
wanted to extend his career high.
Yeah. That's
what it
all.
was.
That's all that happened.
So they missed that first shot. We go to overtime, and go ahead and get into that last shot.
What was your feeling entering overtime?
And in overtime,
Like, were you like, this game could go either way?
no,
this is good.
Tech's usually pretty dominant in overtime.
Yeah.
Usually when we get in overtime, I think the being a home game, the momentum's on our side. We're gonna pull.
Yeah.
this
There's
out.
definitely.
But then I looked up to those corner screens where they showed the fouls. We had 4 guys with 4 fouls on the floor,
And
and
we
I
had-
freaked out.
and we had Keenan Evans
Yes,
with 4 fouls.
I'm telling you, if they would have been in double overtime, we would have been in some major trouble.
That being said, they would have been in major trouble too, because
Right.
they had like a bunch of guys with 4 fouls. So here's 2 things to notice about overtime that I've noticed about overtime. You could tell me if it doesn't make any sense. But one, the home team is almost always favored in overtime.
Yes.
And the second one, the team that most recently tied it up and has momentum also
Yes.
has the most.
Yes, I agree.
Is the upside in overtime. And when you're the home team and you're the one that just caught up and tied the lead at the end, you have a lot of
I'm telling
momentum
you,
going in.
Can we have a tight game without a close game? At any point, can we have a tight basketball game without a close?
I was
finish?
turning to the people behind me and just talking to them. I was like, is there a game where it's not a heart attack? Is there a game where every moment is not like a hold your breath
But
and see
granted,
what happens?
I'm telling you right now, every game is going to be massive from now on out.
Oh yeah,
Every game.
because
And we'll get into it in a minute about the upcoming games for each contender for the conference. But yeah.
and it's very possible you just saw the best basketball game that you may ever witness live.
Yes.
Like as far as feeling, emotion,
Yes,
everything
yes.
in that stadium.
Against a rival,
Against,
it's always fun to put Texas down.
I mean, Texas and OU are the two programs that Tech fans currently playing
Right,
against
right.
that they hate the most.
Right.
And so it doesn't matter what sport. When you beat those teams, it is just a
Yep.
great feeling.
And getting talking about that last sequence of the game,
Okay.
we hit a 3 to go up by 3. I don't remember what the
Yes.
score was. We hit a 3 to go by 3. And
We went up early 5, and then they
Right,
caught up,
right.
and then we
And
were up by 3.
We hit a 3, and then I don't know who it was.
I
don't know
want to
who
say it was Roach.
Somebody drove the ball, and Zaire Smith had
Oh.
that block. Oh, if that
Okay,
if that
I'm with
wouldn't have resulted in a 3, that would have been the biggest game that would have been the biggest play of the game.
That was.
that off the backboard LeBron.
I was like, that was
Oh.
LeBron-esque to come
Now,
chase
granted,
him down from behind and slap it away.
Then that haircut guy got the ball, passed it to Roach, and Roach just spotted up with a 3.
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of those. If it rebounds that far or
Right.
goes that
Oh,
far
it's hard to
out,
get those. Yeah.
like that's a really tough rebound.
And Julian's next to me, and when Roach hit that shot, it was that made it 71-71.
That's like the people at home were like slapping.
Oh, yeah.
slapping whatever chair was around him or
Julian
anything.
collapsed and he was like, "I'm done." And I was like, "There's still 11 seconds left, and this game's not over. Get up."
Yes.
And I see Keenan Evans.
not over.
Right. I see Keenan Evans take the ball.
No timeout, right?
No timeout. He didn't call timeout. I don't know
So-
if he had any, but he didn't call
Yeah,
one.
he
honestly.
did. He didn't call it. He said he trusts his players. This is that
and-
last last sequence. Of
And
events. Okay.
I saw Keenan Evans at half court with 6 seconds to go, and I go, he's
What is he
taking
d-
the shot.
He was walking. I was like, hurry,
Right.
dude.
Oh, when I saw that, I was like, well, he's taking the shot. There's no question in my mind. He's taking the shot.
How calmly he went up there.
Oh, he's cold-blooded killer.
He-
I'm telling you.
He's like, I have 8 seconds or whatever from whenever he got the ball started moving. He like trotted. He did not run.
Right.
He did not panic. He had practiced this many times.
And then he kind of zagged himself up to the top of the key, stepped back on Roach, which was, by the way, an and one, and swished it. Absolutely. I'm telling you right now,
splash.
when that shot went in, my eyes went blurry because it's just the adrenaline in my body. I have never heard that is the close to pandemonium as I've ever heard in my entire life.
I mean, you hear about people losing their minds. Collectively, 16,000 plus people lost their minds.
It's not, I don't mean to call you out, but the capacity is 1598 technically.
Did we sneak some people in?
I feel like it was probably like close to like 15 and a half, but it wasn't quite 16. I don't think.
Okay, so close to capacity.
Right.
Like people lost it. I've never heard it cheer so loud. Not in a football game, not anywhere.
15,000 people losing their mind at the exact same moment. Unbelievable amount of noise. Like that first boom of sound pierced your ears. It was deafening.
Like everybody in the stadium had goosebumps.
Yes.
Like,
Oh.
wow.
Hands going everywhere. People are. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I was in like that aisle seat in the very
Right.
edge, and I was holding on to the railing because I was like just freaking out, just like want to hold on to something. And the shot goes in, and I look down, and my feet and my knees are like at my chest, and I had jumped so high that I'm almost completely above this bar. And I'm like looking around, like, how did I get up here? Like the energy just exploded, and the whole stadium just exploded in that
it
moment.
was huge.
And like if we were the unranked team and they were the ranked team, that would have been the most epic court storming in that moment.
Yeah, that's a play that puts Keenan into Tech lower.
Yeah, you think about Throwback Thursdays where they have the videos of those.
Oh,
that
yeah.
will be one of the greatest
Yes.
Throwback Thursdays because there's no better feeling than beating
Right.
Texas or OU, but Texas in particular is one that we really don't like.
So
at
you
Tech.
were up a little higher than I was. I was more baseline, not baseline, but core. I was closer to the core side.
Yeah,
than
you're
were.
a few rows up on the side.
And were there students just standing there without a seat? Was it standing room only?
They weren't in the aisles, like
Okay.
full into
But
the
they're kind
aisles.
of up in the lobby area.
I think so.
Okay.
I wasn't paying attention behind me because, man, what had happened in front of us was a sight to behold.
I can't. I was telling. I got back to my place, and I go. I still can't believe what I I just saw.
Yeah, I had to like verbally process it for the next
right.
like 30 minutes and I didn't go to sleep for a few hours after because gosh, it was hard to like slow my mind down
Right.
after from the feeling like everything was against us, like we can't mount a comeback.
One of the best tweets of the night was, "You can't storm the court if the team storms you first." Keenan Evans made that shot and ran right to the students.
He just didn't know what to do.
Right.
He was like, "This is the moment. This is the career-defining
That
moment."
is a moment that he lives for.
That is the moment he will remember the rest of his life.
But-
More than any other probably basketball game, maybe even beating Kansas. That moment, the crowd in that moment was enough to he just ran. And like the
Right.
crowd just embraced him in that sideline. I guess that was just in front of me.
So now here comes some negative Nancy out of me.
Okay. After this giant
Okay.
impressive game.
I'll get some stats. Zaire Smith was quiet on the stat sheet, but effective in the game in other ways, blocks, rebounds, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Hamilton and Odell showed up big. Hamilton had 8 points, 1 block, 7 rebounds, all defensive.
Yeah, and Hamilton hit like I want to say back to back, but maybe like very close to each other threes
Right.
early as well.
Odiase had only 5 points, but 11 rebounds, 7 of those defensive. Those defensive rebounds are huge to not
Yes.
give him second chance points. However, first of all, let me give you some thoughts. Thoughts on Zach Smith. On his return, he's drinking water. Give it 1 sec, folks. There we go.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on Zach Smith? What is your feel for? I'm thinking. If you notice, they took the patch off the jerseys,
Okay.
which means maybe he got a good diagnosis.
Yeah.
Sure.
Diagnosis.
And it's gonna come back earlier. I think for him to come back, we have to make this the yeah. Sorry, I'm getting a little stuffed up. For him to come back, we have to make the Sweet 16.
Yeah. I would say earliest
Like,
could be 64 that game.
He might be cleared to play by the end of the season, but he won't be effective until then.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't had basketball conditioning for however long he's been out.
Yeah, and so that would be a very optimistic perspective. Maybe he just didn't want
Right.
the attention to be on him
Right.
anymore and wanted it to be about
And
the team, and so asked him to take those
For
patches
those of
off.
y'all who haven't listened to my instant reactions, that don't know, Zach Smith has a broken bone in his foot.
Yeah.
And he's out for the foreseeable future.
That's tough news because he's a lot defensively.
We'll find a way to win though. Just imagine this team if we had him. We'd be monsters.
You know what
We'd
that
be monsters.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Reminds me of the baseball team. They just keep reloading,
Right,
getting
right.
all this talent. And the basketball team, because it's on the up and up, they're getting this talent starting to cycle into the system
right
too.
now on a little bit more negative note. Thoughts on Moretti?
Moretti
He's been a non-factor as a non-factor can be.
is a freshman. I will give him
That
a
is
pass.
true. That is true.
He's also not
he's-
American.
He
hasn't played in this level of intensity before.
He's underwhelming in terms of like, okay, he has high standards to live up to. He's in the same class as Culver and Smith.
Yeah.
So
he's at the bottom half of that
right.
class.
So
but
so,
yes.
so he's definitely flying under the radar in terms of expectations of freshmen. He started out strong. He hit conference play. He slowed down. Every conference play is just hard. It's an 18-round dogfight.
Well, to me, what's more surprising, him having freshman mistakes, or Jarrett Culver and Zaire Smith both playing the way they are? What's more shocking?
The second one. Oh yeah.
Obviously, the two freshmen that come in and you didn't have a ton of expectations.
Right.
You didn't expect them to be
The
starters.
two freshmen who
or have
are
that
leading,
potential.
who are almost leading some points, yeah, but they're 2 and 3 behind Evans right
And
now.
so, don't worry about Moretti or however you say his name.
His
Morrow.
shot's kind of broken. Not gonna lie.
He's lost a little confidence, but one
Right.
off season, getting used to it, some more
Right.
conditioning,
or even
strength.
or even at the end of a big show play when he gets used to the speed of play.
Yeah, just gets more comfortable with
Right.
it. Right now, he's very uncomfortable, and it's clear. That being said, he still has potential to be a very good player on any given day. And so if he just has a good game and shoots 4 threes,
Right.
5 threes, he could have a bounce-back game. It's very possible.
Now, against Texas, everyone looked like they had an off night except for Evans. Are you scared about that?
Yes. A little bit.
Okay.
And here's why. Evans, of course, cannot carry you.
Yes.
He
No,
cannot be
can't.
expected.
Not every game, at least.
He cannot be expected to put up 30 points a night, 30 plus
Right.
points a night. That is just too much to put on one person's shoulder. That being said, man, what we're doing is working right now somehow.
I honestly think that it's just a matter of just everyone had an off night except for Evans. I don't think Evans will have to be the what's the phrase I'm looking for? I don't think Evans will have to be the knight in shining armor every night. I think it's just a matter of the one night Keenan went off was the one night everybody else had kind of a bad game.
And as long as the other team isn't as deep as we are, Keenan Evans is
Right.
going to have a chance to get a lot of those free throws or a lot of those
Right.
late shots in the game. That being said, I really want Culver to step up.
Yes.
I think that either him or Zaire Smith
and he
might be the
has,
guys
he has,
to step up.
Right,
more.
but he needs to step up in big moments.
Yeah, if he could have 15 points a game
Right.
consistently or more, hopefully,
Now,
that would be cool too.
Don't look now, but next year we lose Evans, we lose Gray, we lose Zach Smith, obviously. I think this is Culver's team next year, even as a sophomore. I think he is our next big scorer.
Yeah, you could definitely make a case for that.
Right.
For me, there's a lot of people that are worried about all sorts of things. Like, what about us next year? We're in a time right now
Oh, yes.
where we
Yes,
can't
I agree.
afford to
I
worry
agree.
about the future.
I agree. Enjoy the ride, folks, because I'm telling you, whoever was at that game, I'm sorry, I
You're
don't
good.
know what. Okay, whoever's at that game, that packed arena will be packed for the remaining 4 home games. No
Yeah.
doubt about it. Even Iowa State, who is not as big as game as the last 3 in any way, will still be packed. I'm telling y'all, don't. Excuse me.
This team's the real deal. So people are
I
gonna show
know. I
up.
know. Like when you raise standards, you always when the standards gets raised, you tend to raise your standards above that. Because I've seen people that are like for a top 10 team. By the way, we're top freaking 10.
Yeah.
We're top 10. Are you kidding
And we've
me?
been in the top 15 for like
Right.
5-6 weeks.
our
What is it?
third top 10 ranking this season, which is nuts.
Yes.
Don't take this for granted, people. If you're listening to this and you've been kind of on the fence going to basketball, enjoy it while it lasts.
Go now.
Yes, go now.
Go early.
Because it's what was I trying to say here, John? It's
It's a special time for Texas Tech basketball.
right. Don't think about all the negatives right now. That if you're one to actually read into basketball like I am and know the intricacies and everything, don't look at the negative. Think, enjoy the ride while it lasts.
Yeah, I mean, you only have the present, so
Right.
like, enjoy it. Like, Keenan Evans is a special player,
Right.
and yes, he won't be here next year, but Chris Beard has done pretty good at, like, recruiting
Right.
with his first full cycle.
It has taken
With
2.5 years for us to go from bottom dwellers to contenders.
Yes.
It's been a year under Tubby, a full year under Chris Beard, and a half year under Chris Beard. 2.5 years for the program to turn around. Which, honestly, under Tubby and under Beard for the first time, we weren't winning games, but we were at least being competitive.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer,
Right.
and last year we had a lot of games that were
A lot
very
of
close at
games.
the end. And
But-
this is like the comeback season where Keenan had those shots last year and missed a
Right.
lot of them. I have a feeling he's
Right.
going to make a lot this
So
year.
I know it's easy to fall in the mentality of when is the other foot going to drop, but I'm telling you right now, please enjoy this, because in 6 weeks there won't be any more home. In 6 weeks the home games will be over. All you can do is watch the madness unfold in March, and
Yeah.
enjoy it. Please enjoy it.
Oh, there's also one more thing I wanted to say.
Okay.
I have to firmly place my foot in my own mouth because I said Keenan Evans would not eclipse 30 points again when he had that preseason game or pre-conference game where he scored 30-something points.
Wow.
And now he's done it multiple times. And
Right.
he's
forgot
just
about that.
killing it. So, yeah, that was the worst hot take I had so
Right.
far, and I'm very happy about it.
now I realize, and I'm going to kind of put my foot in my mouth here. I just kind of said enjoy the ride and don't worry about the negatives. However, there is one negative that's kind of glaring at me: free throws.
Yes, and that's scary.
What's worrying me because I think I said in what I don't remember, it was the collab we had or one of mine. Free throws will be the reason why you lose at least a game.
And freaking out about free throws is like freaking out about extra points. If
Right.
it gets in your head, oh,
Right.
man, we felt that with the football
Now
program.
Evans is usually money, but and it could have been just because it was a bad night for everybody. But
Yeah.
but Culver was off on his free throws. Zaire was strong on everything. Odiase couldn't hit.
Zaire would go 1 for 2 on every shot,
Right.
basically what it felt like. Yeah, so, I mean, this is a game where Tech both teams shot under 50% from the field. Tech
Right.
shot 42.3 and under 30% from 3-point land,
which is kind of scary.
and somehow came out with a win.
Right.
Like, if you look at those stats, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But then you take into account Keenan Evans getting to the free throw line,
Right.
somehow making enough
Because
free throws on
usually
top of that.
we don't build our team off threes, but if we get up, we bury you with threes.
Yeah, that's a good way. When that rhythm starts hitting,
Right.
the 3-point shot becomes a factor. Man, Texas out rebound us 39-37. I guess technically we won the turnover battle 15.
I mean, granted, they have a 7-foot guy.
They do. Yeah, that is helpful. We won the turnover battle 15-14, and that one possession proved to be the difference.
Right.
So win the turnover battle, as we've been saying all year.
So now, John,
Okay.
let's I know Chris Beard has this 12-hour rule that celebrate for 12 hours, then move on. We have how long have we been going on now?
Almost 24.
No. How long?
How long in the podcast? I thought you meant since the game.
No.
1 hour.
Okay. So we have a 1 hour rule. Celebrate it for 1 hour? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, when you said that, it was just about 1 hour.
I just wanted to make a play off of what.
Okay.
It's fine. So
What do we celebrate now?
now we're moving on.
Okay. Texas is done.
TCU's coming up on Saturday at 1 o'clock.
TCU is coming. Well, I guess we're going to TCU.
Okay. ESPN's BPI gives TCU a 58.5% chance to win.
Yeah, I saw that. And
Now-
I don't know the line yet.
Any guesses on the line?
Okay.
I'm gonna have you look it up live after we say it. But any guesses on what the line is?
I'm going to say, and it's out there?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to say the line is 2 points to TCU. That's not what I think is going to happen, but
I'm thinking it's 3 to TCU.
what? Okay. Yeah, I'll look that up. And while you're looking that up, talk about some of the things to look forward to
Well-
when we face TCU or worry about.
Jalen Fisher's out. Jalen Fisher is their best player, no doubt.
Yeah.
He's the I don't mean this in a derogatory word. I don't mean this in a derogatory sense. In a derogatory sense,
Let's see where you're going with
mean
this.
this as it's the fact. If you don't know who Jalen Fisher is, he's the albino black guy that's on to TCU.
He had that like bleach blonde
Right.
hair, didn't he?
Again, I don't mean that derogatory. It's just the facts of the matter. And if y'all don't know who
He's
he
very
is,
recognizable
yes,
for sure.
Yes. So with we wish him a speedy recovery. But it certainly helps out. There's no doubt about that. However, TCU seems to be playing better basketball without him.
That's weird.
They've had their biggest wins with him on the sideline.
You could probably make the same argument for us with Zach Smith.
Right.
Let's
Got it up there.
not yet. I'm pretty bad at searching this on the
It's
spot.
fine.
I do feel like TCU will be favored. That is the football page.
John. Anyway, so what do we need to do Saturday to win?
Yeah.
In my opinion, we're going up against the 4th best team in the conference. And I say that because they have more staying power than anybody else.
And who do you think third? Kansas State? The 4th best team in the conference?
4th best team in the conference is TCU.
Yeah,
That's what
who
I'm
do you say
saying.
is the third?
Tech.
So Tech's the third, Kansas.
OU.
You're saying OU ahead. Okay, I got you.
Just based off the fact that they beat us in the head-to-head already.
Okay, I got it. Drew, you're dead on it. It's exactly
No
3.
way.
As of now, the spread is 3 points to TCU.
And I bet by tip-off it moves to honestly, I bet by tip-off it moves to about what you call TCU at 2.
Yeah.
I bet you.
I mean, you can make a case that this game could be a coin flip.
Right.
And because it's at TCU, it may give them slight advantage.
Right.
So here's what I want to say. The next 4 games, and I'm going to go back to TCU.
Okay.
The next 4 games are at TCU, home versus Iowa State, at State, and home versus OU. I wanted to throw that in there because we will get to that. Right now,
and I have the whole rundown about
right now it
predicting the
feels
seed
like
race.
with those 4 games, right now it feels like if we have anything less than winning 3 of those 4 games, it is a failure. Like it would be a disappointment.
Say it again.
So if we don't win 3 out of at TCU, home versus Iowa State, at Kansas State, home versus
Yes,
OU.
I agree.
If
I
we don't
agree.
win 3 of
I
those
agree.
4, it's probably going to be looked at as a disappointment.
Totally agree.
And here's what I say. I think we either drop TCU or K-State out of those 2.
Really?
Those are the 2 road games.
Right.
This might be a hot take. So here's my
I don't
case.
K-State is that good a team.
Here's my
actually.
case for TCU. Okay. TCU has been scoring in the 80s and high 70s in most of their games in like the past few games. So my first question is, can we keep up? It might take an explosive game from Keenan Evans to keep up with that.
I don't think we keep up. I think they slow down. I think our defense gets to them. I don't think it's a matter of keeping up. I think it's a matter of them slowing down.
Yeah, our offense. I think our defense holds on average people to about 60-something points.
Our defense is the fourth best in the country right now.
But I still feel like that team is going to score.
Okay.
Put up maybe a 70-point game against us. But they average 86.5 points a game. We average 76.4. That doesn't mean much. But this is just my case for if TCU could beat us. Number 2, it's at TCU. Home cooking is real.
Yes,
in the Big 12
and it's not a huge arena, but they will get loud. I promise you.
Yeah, and it's going to be about free throws and foul calls in the end.
Yes,
and whoever gets the fouls,
yes.
like the frustrating TCU game last year.
Let's just hope that Evans is on the line for everything.
We won't share that story about the TCU game last year.
Me punching a hole in my door. Oh my gosh!
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Let's hope it doesn't happen again. Basically, last year I was mad. I hit my nose on the mic. It's fine. Last year I was mad because nothing irritated me more than we forced 22 turnovers on the road and lost.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's hard to do.
22 turnovers and we lost. I was so mad, and so I punched the door, and I still haven't paid said apartment complex for my damages. So I'm not gonna say which one it is because I don't know what the liability is like that on there, but it's fine.
Yeah, he's not admitting guilt to anything.
Nah.
Right? It may or may not have been punched.
There's a lot of apartments in Lubbock.
Yeah, there is. It's not this one.
Right. Shut up, John.
All right. So my last final point is the trap game clause. After a huge emotional victory, TCU's got to be a trap game. We beat Texas in overtime at home. All sorts of emotions everywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When you hit a mountaintop after another game comes,
like West Virginia,
especially when it's an unranked opponent, even if they are, pretty good.
Like West Virginia going to Texas, losing 2 straight. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good point. They've been free falling right now. Road letdowns happen sometimes. It's Big 12 play.
Yes.
It's going to happen at some point.
Like Chris Beard says, I want to be a prince one more day because I'm going to be a frog at some point.
Yeah, and so I hope that we have more days to celebrate our up and up. But that's definitely a trap game. TCU's favored, and Vegas is right too many times. So hopefully not.
I'm telling you right now, if we win tomorrow, we go up into the conversation of elite.
This is true for this year
because we go 19-4 through the first 23 games. That's some pretty elite basketball right there. That's getting up with the big dogs. I mean, we already are. But
that is something. Yeah, you can't look over for sure.
So here's my take. TCU's core is pretty dang good. J.D. Miller, who's a 235-pound guard, who is that's some beef.
Yeah,
you got Brodzianski, who's 6'11", who's their post guy.
You can make a case that that's their best player.
Alex Robinson, who's got some range on him. Okay. Kenrich Williams, who is just good, and then Sean Oden. All is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. I don't think that's their starting 5, but all 5 of those guys are guys to watch out for.
Yeah.
We need to have somebody besides Evans scoring. Obviously, we can't rely on a superhuman performance for him to win, and lately we have been. Who are your thoughts on who's going to be the next highest scorer? Culver, Smith, Francis, Gray. Gray, for his senior season, has not showed up at all.
I feel like Gray's been injured, but he's been kind of playing through it.
And he's been playing a lot of defense, and defense wears your legs out.
He looks like he just doesn't have that same explosiveness, and I think it's because of an injury.
In terms of like needing legs for your shot, defense can really shoot your legs out.
This is true.
So if you had to put money on the next highest score, would you produce Francis, Culver, or Smith?
Gosh, you can make a case for all 3.
Right.
My gut instinct was Culver, but I'm going with Smith.
I'm going with Francis.
Nice.
With those threes.
Yeah. He could drop 20 in a game if he gets hot,
I think we need to have 3 or 4 in doubles. I really do to win this game. Like I said, TCU's newly renovated arena holds only 9,000, but they will be loud, so we better be poised.
Yeah, and so That is a trap game, and K-State later because it's a road game. K-State's been looking good.
Right.
You know, they'll face K-State before they come to us. They'll face basically that free-falling West Virginia team.
Right.
And then go to Texas. Here's the clause. If they win those 2 games, including at Texas, they will be on fire.
I'll tell you what.
Like, that means they'd win the 6 of their last 7 games.
Right.
Which means they would be on fire coming into Lubbock or at home against Texas Tech.
Tell
And
you
so,
what.
home game, hard.
West
every
Virginia has gone from a team that makes the Big 12 a powerhouse to just they might fall out. If they lose again Saturday, they're out of the top 25.
Yeah, it's very possible that they could go from
Right.
2 to gone.
Which
Like,
is ridiculous.
that should not happen at all.
So,
But yeah, so that's why I'm saying K-State will be a very tough game.
what is your score prediction, John? I don't know if you worked on one or not.
I did not, and I would have to. Okay, yeah. So TCU game score prediction. My score prediction is 74 Texas Tech, 71 TCU.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, I have a little low score game. 72-65 Tech. So close
72-65.
game, but would pull away late.
Yeah.
It's comfortable.
7. Yeah, 7-point game at the end. It'll probably feel like it could go either way for most of the game.
Right.
Both of us have a predicted win. I think that is a bold prediction.
Which I'm telling you, 19-4 gets us into the weird contender status.
like you could almost get into the tournament without winning another
Right,
game.
Right.
That's pretty crazy.
Was it you that brought up? I heard it also, but you brought it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
It was like if we just totally collapse.
If we lose out, which
Or
sounds
the NIT.
impossible, but if we were to lose out, we could probably still get into the NIT. And I
Right.
heard that on Double T 97.3.
yeah, same.
So shout out.
Do you listen to them every day?
Just about.
I wake
Morning
up
drive.
at 6. I wake up at 6 just listen to their show, and I listen to our show all the way to 9. And
Wow.
then I listen to their morning to their bottom line from 11 to 1, and then I try to catch as much of TikTok as I can.
Maybe we can get a sponsor from them.
That'd
Be
be
like,
awesome.
shout out to your
I'm telling you,
program.
I listen to the morning drive and bottom line every day, and
And
I
Chris
try
Level,
and I
all that good
I
stuff.
try to. My favorite's probably the bottom line, but anyway, that's,
Yeah, we can get a shout out to
Right.
them and tell them about the app.
shout
and
out
everything.
shout out Chris Level, shout out Choice Woodman, shout out Jamie Lint. I want an internship. Thanks, bye. But
Okay, so here's what I want to say. Out of those 4 games, at TCU, home versus Iowa State, at Kansas State, and home versus OU, what do you think we go in those 4?
say it again. I'm sorry.
Okay, next 4 games.
Yeah.
How many do
we?
we win? You want me to repeat the names?
No, I have them right here.
Okay, next 4 games, all the way to OU. What do you think our record is, and how do we
I
do?
think we're 3-1, and I think we lose to. God.
That's a really hard thing to pick because you're like all these games are winnable,
No, yeah, they
and
are.
then the game that looks like the most toss up is
Is
the
at
OU,
home.
the OU home game. So what do you think? I have Kansas
I'm
State.
gonna say we get edged out by OU at home.
So you're gonna say OU beats us. I'm saying Kansas State is the one team that beats us out of
Okay.
those 4. Just they're on fire.
I
They're
think
killing
Trae
it.
Young might be just too much for us to handle.
It's possible, or it's possible we could bait them into some
Foul
blocking fouls,
Yes, sir.
driving down the lane, right at him. I feel like
So-
that's a great strategy. Just literally run at him and hope you get some fouls on him.
So let's say we win Saturday. That
Okay.
puts us 7-3 in the Big 12, which, by the way, is pretty dang good.
That's a big if. That's a tough game.
Yes. It makes us 19-4 overall. What is your seeding prediction? We need to be 3 through 6
yes.
seed to go to. I want to go to Dallas so bad. Dallas. If we went to Dallas for the first 2 rounds, we might have a sold out NBA arena with Tech fans. I'd be there.
Yeah. I will 100% be there if we go to the Dallas. What is that? The Midwest Conference?
Yeah.
4 seed.
We'd have to either be a 3, 4, 5, or 6 seed.
I mean, I'd be comfortable with any of them. I know right now you feel like, well, you're a top 10 team. You should be a
Right.
3 seed or maybe a 2 seed if you win.
See,
you know?
Joe already has it as the 4 seed right now, with the second round game being Kentucky.
Oof.
That'd be a hell of a game to watch.
That would be fun. It would be tough to see if we could defend them well enough
Right.
to keep them off that 3-point
And they have a
line.
lot of length.
This is true as well. they're a blue blood program that even in a down year is still doing
Right.
pretty good. But yeah, that first round looked like a wash. So that'd be good.
So here's our final our final tech segment of the day. Thinking about winning the Big 12 is possible. Okay, Kansas is sitting at 7-2. We're sitting at 6-3 with OU, and West Virginia and K-State are at 5-4.
Okay.
I think West Virginia I think is still a team that could catch somebody if you don't watch out.
Yeah.
Obviously, because they're a good team, but for the in terms of winning the conference, they're out of it.
Yeah, there's not very many teams.
Right.
And you can make a case that Tech has the best chance
Right.
left.
So here's remaining games for Kansas. Home against Oklahoma State, home against TCU, at Baylor, at Iowa State, home West Virginia, home OU, road Tech, home Texas, road Oklahoma State.
So many home games.
That's 2, 4, 5 home games.
I must say they drop one home game across that stretch, and they lose to. Never mind. I'm not
I
gonna get there.
think they lose at Iowa State because I'm not kidding. I think Hilton Magic is a thing. I legitimately think that Iowa State has a chance to win to knock off every big team at home.
Dude, they have good sports fans.
Right.
Like football.
Oh, they could be
basketball.
1-12 and they'd have a full stadium still.
Yeah, that's.
Granted, there isn't a whole lot else to do in Iowa, but anyway.
Yeah, they probably say the same thing about
Right.
Texas. So
Oh, believe me, they did. I got in a Twitter fight. But so
we're not petty at all. We get
so-
Twitter fights.
I'm thinking Kansas goes 1-2-3, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, 6-3 in the last 9 games.
Yeah.
That would mean
Do you think Tech will also go 6-3 in the
I'm
last
getting to
9?
that. Hold on.
That's
So-
what this is just total
So
out there predictions.
last 9 games for OU. Okay.
Okay.
At Texas, home West Virginia, at Iowa State, at Tech, home Texas, at Kansas, home Kansas State,
Yeah, that's a hard
at
schedule.
Baylor, home against Iowa State. I think they go 5-4 or 6-3, depending on whether they beat Kansas. Depending on whether they. I don't know why I have 5 and it's fine. And then Tech
Okay.
goes
This is where
TCU.
I'm tracking with you now.
TCU, Iowa State at home, at K-State, home OU, at Baylor, at Oklahoma State, home Kansas, at West Virginia, home TCU. What are your?
Yes.
Let's just run down the second half and just see what we think. It can change with the situation. In terms of
I'm
how
not
we
ready
play.
I'm not ready to give win losses here. I can tell you overall what I think. Is that fair?
I think. Okay. This is what I had down in terms of when I took my notes.
Okay.
It was beat TCU, beat Iowa State, beat K-State. I have OU as a toss-up.
Yeah.
Beat Baylor, beat Oklahoma State, toss-up against Kansas, lose in Morgantown, and win at TCU. So that would be 1, 2, 3-0. Oh, I don't know. It's going to be tough to win this conference, dog. It's going to be – we're going to have to –
Yes, Kansas has to falter, and we got to play our best basketball.
Kansas has to lose twice.
Probably at least 3.
Kansas has to lose 3 times or twice and have one of them being us.
Okay.
And then we can't lose more than 2 games.
Okay, so here's what
Maybe 3.
Here's what I got. So every game in the Big 12 from here on out, from my perspective, Tech is winnable. But then again, every game is also losable too.
Right.
And the Big 12 is, I just think they're that good still. I see the worst case scenario to be 10-8. Like wheels fall off the bus.
Really?
Like that's our in conference. Like I'm talking like Keenan Evans gets injured. Like wheels fall off the bus. We're having to pull red shirts. Like then maybe 10-8 finals. That's like a logical one, not losing out. That will not happen.
I'm thinking
I'm saying
I'm thinking 12-6.
Here's what I'm feeling is actually going to happen. I'm feeling that we're going to finish 12-6.
Yeah.
Like the rest of those games. Like you said, what you said is the worst case scenario. So that means we win 6 and we lose 3. Now, that's still pretty good.
Right.
Winning 6 and losing 3. That's the thing. Like right now, I don't know if we can rely on Keenan Evans, and I don't know if we'll
Right.
change that in time. You know, you can't just rely on one player. Excuse me. OU, Trey Young.
Oh,
Excuse me.
goodness.
Yeah, you can't just rely on one player to get you all the way through. Sooner or later, they might burn
Sooner
out
or
on you.
later.
Dang, I didn't know that, but I hit that. That's awesome. But we need that second scorer to stand out, come out of the woodworks. Maybe a freshman, Culver Smith. Maybe Francis for your prediction.
You know, until it's out of reach, I am thinking about Big 12 championship. I'm telling you right now, because all you need to do is either have Kansas lose 3 at least, or have them lose 2, 1 to get or have them lose. Could you imagine if we ran the table and Kansas ran the table and we're okay? Well, we can't both run the table. Can you imagine if we went out and us and Kansas are tied and we end up sweeping Kansas?
You know, I'd be
Could you
fine with
imagine
sweeping
that?
Kansas regardless, because that's like something that's going to go down in record books.
I think we'll get him at home. I really do.
Yeah, you know, I would have to lean that way too, just because, man, depending on the momentum at the time of the
Right.
season, that could be huge for us.
All we have to do is tie Kansas and hope we beat them at home. That's it.
All we got to do is just win.
If we can
Just
get
win.
we can get tied and get that sweep on them, Big 12's ours.
Yeah, man.
Assuming OU doesn't just go out of their mind and win every game.
Yeah, and I starred that Kansas game because I said that
Oh.
could be the game that is played for the Big 12
Every-
title.
OU and Kansas, like you think Texas was huge in terms of the crowd.
Oh,
OU
yeah.
and Kansas is going to be that times about 5.
Well, Kansas, the ticket prices go up when Kansas
Right.
comes to town.
Kansas is going to be big regardless. It is every year. But I'm telling you, that place will be on a new level of hype for OU and Kansas.
Well, think about it this way: we've seen, and we are going to see some of the best players in college
Yes.
basketball with Mo Bamba, with Trey Young officially.
Javon Carter has already come
Javon
through.
Carter came through. We've seen some of the best players in all of college basketball
Right.
come through, and I'm sure Kansas, Mikhailov is going to be
Mikhailov,
most
Graham, yeah.
likely in the NBA as well. Volume shooters generally do.
It's funny. He's been there 4 years, and the announcers still can't figure out how to say his name. I've known how to say it for years now, and they still can't figure it out. But anyway, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. But
That game could be the pivot point
Oh,
that
it could.
changes depending on how we play. Of course, could be the game
and
that changes that.
and that's our second to last home game of the year.
Yes, TCU being the last one.
I'm telling you, I still have my sights set on knocking Kansas off the throne for 13 years.
That would be such a beautiful moment. What would you rather?
Could you imagine how that is for recruiting? You can walk into any athletes in the country's home and goes like, "We're the team that knocked Kansas off their streak."
That's pretty big.
Yes.
selling point. And Chris Beard is such a great motivator that on his side.
Can we just go on a soapbox about him? Okay,
yes, Chris
that
Beard
dude
time.
tore his dang ACL and is still jumping in the locker room. First of all, he's an idiot, but second of all, I love him.
That's just unbridled passion, man.
Whenever he gets the crowd going himself, whenever he does this on the sideline,
Yeah.
I love that. Today's Friday. Yesterday from 2 to 3, he had a thing at the arena that he literally said,
Yeah.
anybody who didn't make the game who's a student, come by and we have a packet for you. I think it
Yeah,
was
all those people that waited outside and didn't get in.
Right. I think it was a packet. I think it was some key one for a free food, a free car wash, and like a poster. I don't know what else was involved. But he was there himself, shook their hands. I mean, just blue collar
Class
stuff like that will get people to come in droves.
Yeah, I mean that's a rallying point
Yes,
around the community.
absolutely.
And paying people's tickets,
Oh yeah,
stuff like that he's done.
that comment he made in that media day.
Yes, we cannot overlook
where
that.
he's literally like, if finances are the issue, email me. He's dead serious about that. That is not some backhanded comment that he's just going to shrug off and not follow through with. He is dead serious about that. Cody, I'm talking to you. If you want to take it to Kansas, email him now. No, I'm kidding. I love this guy. And I know Texas is an alma mater, and I know there's little whispers about, if Texas doesn't make the tournament, he's going to get calls from UT. I can't say past this point, but I can guarantee he'll be back next season.
Here's what I have to say. His daughters live in Abilene.
Yes.
And so until they graduate high school, I see him staying. unless
Yes.
something changes.
You know, even though Texas has some pretty dang deep pockets, except all that money and they still can't have a winning record. Oh, I don't want a refund.
They got a lot of talent in that Roach guy
Right.
and Bamba, but they're still
But
not.
boy, if all those millions and you get a 5-4 record or 4-5 record in conference, I don't want a refund.
Man, you're just like, yeah, you're going bankrupt
Right.
off these refs getting money.
But I think Tech will shell out the money that's needed. I really do.
They're gonna have to because
Yeah.
he's a big name now,
He is.
Like,
he's a
he's-
huge name.
one of the better coaches in the
But-
conference.
I'm looking forward to this. Again, TCU is tomorrow at 1:00. You'll probably listen to this either during or after. Don't listen
We'll
to us.
see.
Don't listen to us during. We're not worth it.
Yeah, this is much worse than actually watching
yeah.
a basketball game. This
But,
is just to fill the time in between,
right.
or
But
the rest of the conference, I guess.
now to touch on this, this game nobody really cares about on Sunday is the Super Bowl.
Yes, and gosh, I wanted to say one more thing about Chris
Oh
Beard.
no, go ahead.
Well, then we'll get into it. Okay, Chris Beard after the game, he made a character statement about Bamba. I don't know if you watched the
Yes,
post-game
I didn't
conference.
watch the post-game conference, but I heard about, but I saw the quoted on Twitter.
Yeah, so he is talking in this post-game conference, and he said basically the sentiment behind it was after they lost, Bamba came over and made sure to personally look everybody in the eyes and come say like, "Good game,"
Right.
Like just a class act moment.
Every
And,
player, every coach. shook their
every
hand.
player, every coach, and not only that, but like Chris Beard mentioning it.
Right.
Such good character from him, and such good character from
I'm telling
Bamba.
you,
So I wish him all the best, man.
we might have the best coach in the country,
I mean,
and we're not biased at all.
We're definitely homers on this, but at the
No,
same
not,
time,
not at all. No biasness.
he just has this personality
He
about
does.
him that
He was
just
just
draws people in.
relatable. All those millions, and he so connects to people like us.
Yeah. He doesn't, he didn't get a big head. He still
Right.
has those roots, and he holds on to those, and that's really cool.
Right.
And so, yes, everyone in Lubbock could not be a bigger fan of Chris
Right.
Beard, especially with the way the team is performing.
Oh, I love it. I can't wait for Saturday. I can't wait for next Wednesday.
Okay, so this one thing that we cannot go without talking about.
I guess if we're a sports show, we probably should talk about the biggest game of the year.
Yeah. There's this thing called the Super Bowl, and this other team and the Patriots.
Every Cowboy fan from the hours of 5:30 to 8:30 will be collectively crying all at once.
Yeah, you can probably pencil them in next year for the Super Bowl for the Patriots too.
I think the Cowboys is fine.
No,
What?
No, that's not gonna happen. I'm just kidding. Anything is possible. That's what.
Anything is possible. Oh, anything is. Oh,
Everything is awesome.
I almost mixed my song. Everything is awesome when you're part of the team. It's fine.
I
I'm gonna
apologize
stop
on
now.
Drew's behalf there.
Okay.
But yes, Super Bowl, the biggest game of the year in professional football.
I'm all Pats. All Pats.
I am all Eagles.
Really?
And you know why? Well, actually, all but one
As
player.
a Cowboys fan, I cannot handle the Eagles winning at all.
And I
They
know that
would
most of our listeners probably are Cowboys
They
fans.
will be the most obnoxious fans without their one ring.
This would be true. However,
They booed Santa.
they booed Santa.
Have you never seen that story? They literally booed Santa off the field one time.
That's not cool.
No, it's not cool at all.
No, I'm not gonna-
Anybody who boos Santa is not a friend of
I'm
mine.
not going to make any character qualities about Philadelphia.
Oh, I will.
I'm not going to say that is any
City
reason
of
why,
brotherly
like,
hate, if you know what I mean.
I always root for the underdog. Yeah, there's no phileo happening up in there. Philadelphia's.
That was bad.
Long
Mine was better.
changed.
Mine was better.
I was just trying to compliment
Brotherly
the
love,
point.
brotherly hate. See it there.
Yeah, I got you. You flipped it on its head. Good stuff. So for the second consecutive year, I will be cheering for the Bird team.
Although I did win a lot of money last year on the Super Bowl. Did I tell you that?
Sorry.
Did I ever tell you that?
No, I don't think you did.
I bet $100 and I won 800.
Wow.
Yeah, the final,
Don't bet against Tom Brady.
The final score was the 34-30. I bet 34-28.
Wow.
And if I would have been right on there, I would have won $2,000.
That would have
Anyway.
been nice too.
I'm not betting any more from now on. I've already bet some, but I'm not betting any more from now on. What?
Let's just leave it at that. So, Super Bowl. I am high-key rooting for the Eagles. I'm so sorry, Cowboys fans. But I just love the underdog, and they are definitely the underdog. I don't know if there's a line or anything like that yet. There probably is because it's the Super Bowl. I haven't been following it.
No.
But you know what? Here's what I'm going to say. Here's my bold prediction. Are we ready for this? Are you ready for this?
Uh-oh.
Oh no. So the Super Bowl prediction: the Eagles will not give up a fourth quarter lead because they're not gonna have one to give up. Unfortunately, I'm gonna say give me the Patriots 27-17.
Okay. I'm thinking that the Patriots have not scored in the first quarter of any Super Bowl they've ever played in.
Really?
Yeah.
They have a pretty crazy Super Bowl record too.
I'm thinking 27-24 Patriots. Close game.
Yeah, that's a field goal.
But I think Tom Brady game-winning drive.
Yeah.
Even against that crazy Eagles defense.
There's something about that prevent defense, man, and the 2-minute offense.
Right.
They did that all game. They'd score 80
But-
points. I'm just kidding.
The football season will come to an end as we know it, and we will be all up in basketball from now on until right as March Madness starts. No, actually, it's 2 weeks. So right as March Madness starts, baseball will be getting into conference play. It's a perfect transition. It really is.
Man, sports fans, Texas Tech fans in particular, this is
This is the time of the year right
the
now,
most
baby.
wonderful time
Yes,
of
sir.
the year.
The most fun. That was not the right tune. It's fine.
You just like miss the melody and like the off rhythm, and that is sums our entire statement.
So we'll be back for y'all. I'm gonna have an instant reaction on Saturday after the game, more or less. We'll see if I have to eat. I'll eat first. But
If you're a college-age student in the Lubbock area and you're interested in going to a Super Bowl event, the Wesley will be having one.
totally.
So we
forgot
should
about that.
definitely plug that.
Go ahead.
You can find out the Wesley Foundation. Google it. You can come there and watch the Super Bowl with us.
2420 15th Street at 5:00 on Sunday.
All right, so you can be there, and it's okay if you just like walk in and don't.
All
know
right.
us. But
We'll
Introduce yourself.
We'll completely ignore you and just make you feel awkward the entire time.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
But yeah, definitely that's gonna be a fun game to watch. I'm looking forward to that. And man, future looks bright.
Future looks bright, and me and John will be back with you together again. It feels so good to be back.
As soon as we can.
As soon as we can. Hopefully something, whether it's before or after the Iowa State game, I don't know, but we'll figure out something for next week to have a collaborative podcast.
Hopefully before the OU game at the latest,
Yes, for sure,
because that would be a big moment.
If we're gonna try to rebrand the image today. So if you're wondering, if you're confused as to why it looks different, it's because I'm gonna put our faces on there tonight.
Would that turn away our
But
viewers?
It might just plummet.
If we make a funny face, it'll be
It's
cool.
kind of like all those other radio hosts where like you think you know what they look like, and then you see them like, ugh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been like, wow, that person looks much cooler than I imagined them.
Oh, every radio host is a nerd. Just look at me.
So here we are geeking out about Texas Tech sports.
Goodness.
Yeah, definitely stay tuned. Subscribe. You can find this on
Our BTL podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Facebook page, all that fun stuff.
I'll throw it up on YouTube. We got the video rolling. We've ignored it the whole time, but it's there. So it'll be on YouTube.
I think I've been flashing some skin a little bit, but that's fine.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that.
You can
He just does that in his spare time.
You can save that for later. No, I'm gonna stop now.
On that note,
On that note, Recom Tech tomorrow, Recom Tech on Wednesday, and we will talk to y'all when we talk to y'all. See ya.
down goes Texas. Down goes the
Horns down, horns down, horns down. See y'all.